Hey guys, how are you? David here, aka the Creative One. It is March 17th, 2009. Happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. And today was Apple's big iPhone 3.0 SDK event, where basically Scott Forstall and some other guy, I'm not sure of his name, not Steve Jobs, that's for sure, and several developers were invited on stage to talk about the new SDK, its improvements over the last year, its new features. Basically, a lot of new stuff was announced today. But I picked probably like my top 5 or so topics that I found the most interesting. So without further ado, enjoy. Alright, so something I want to talk about first is they announced that they have sold over 30 million iPhones and iPod Touches. That is a huge number. I obviously do not work for Apple myself, but you have to take that into consideration. There are 30 million, at least 30 million iPhones and iPod Touches out there in the wild. Guys, that's crazy, and here's one of them. And I still can't believe Apple got it right the first time. There's all these phone companies out there trying to make the right phone for years now. Apple comes out of nowhere with the iPhone, with no experience whatsoever in making phones in previous years. They come out of nowhere with the iPhone and blow everyone out of the water. It's insane. Yes, the iPhone's far from perfect, but after today's keynote, it's pretty much as close to perfect as it's going to get. So with all those numbers aside and how many sold and how many developers and how many applications there are, I will say this. The first thing that really surprised me and impressed me, rather, is the better choice of word, is peer-to-peer. Now, honestly, the first thing that I thought of peer-to-peer was Zune. You know how Zune squirts to each other like, hey, I have a music file. Hey, why don't you squirt me with your music file? That's not sexual. That's what Microsoft calls it, squirts. Why do they call it that? I don't know. Why don't they just call it like Beam? Anyway, point aside, the iPhone now supports peer-to-peer networking, meaning if, for instance, we're playing a game of chess. I don't play chess. But if I was playing a game of chess and you were in the room with me, we could play chess either over Bluetooth or local networking, I believe. Something like that. Basically, it's peer-to-peer, and that's a big deal because I've always been fascinated by searching for other people with the same device around me. For instance, when I used to play the PSP or Nintendo DS a lot, I used to look for other players around me with the same game. However, with the iPhone, it's even simpler because you do not need to pair your devices. It's on the fly for the developers and its users, and that's a great thing. Now, another thing Apple introduced was in-game purchases. I forget what exactly they call it. Actually, hold on, I have it in my notes here. No, I don't. Never mind. Anyway, basically what this is it allows, these new apps with this feature allows its users to purchase in-game items like item packs, level packs, sound packs, whatever you're playing. For instance, if you're playing Topple 2, which just came out by the way, and you want to purchase a new level, you would say purchase new level for 99 cents, $2, whatever they charge you. And then it's that easy. Some people may think this is kind of greedy for developers to do, but to me it's convenient. Rather than having to download a separate application with just new levels, you can add new levels. I thought this was already possible. However, maybe that was back in the day when I jailbroke my iPhone. And by back in the day, I mean before March of last year. I'm talking like it's a century ago. But anyway, you get the point. And they demonstrated this by bringing EA onto stage. I forget the guy's name. But they demoed The Sims 3, which, in my opinion, looks very impressive. The graphics look really good for a phone. And I'm not saying that because I'm some iPhone fanboy. The graphics really do look that great. And anyway, they demonstrated this new feature by having the player on stage purchasing a stereo system for 99 cents. Yes, that is 99 cents real dollars, not in-game simoleons, I think they call them. So it kind of makes you think of Facebook and how you purchase apps with real money. And PlayStation Home, you use real money to purchase furniture and whatnot, which I think is kind of greedy, but it's just another business model, and it's great for all these people to make money off of. However, it's not required, so don't go freaking out to these companies. It's their choice if they want to charge money for extra map packs. But, yeah, either way, it's cool. More content is always a better thing. I tried to. I just had to make up a hand motion for cut, copy, and paste. I just embarrassed myself, but I don't care. Anyway, that was supposed to be cut, copy, and paste, like I just said. And finally, The iPhone is almost 2 years old, and Apple's finally introduced cut, copy, and paste. Now, as rumored by Kevin Rose or some other site I saw this rumor on, cut, copy, and paste is basically like this. You take a word on the iPhone, say you're in Mail, Safari, whatever you're using, you double tap the word, they'll bring up like a kind of like a highlighter thing with quotes, and then you drag the blue ball down to where you want the copy to end, and then you either click or touch cut or copy. I'm sorry, I'm doing this all from my head right now because I just watched the keynote within like an hour. And then you go back into another application, for instance, mail or text messaging. You double tap, you say paste, send away, and there you go. It's done. I'm really glad this is easy to do because with a touch screen, you got to remember the only physical button on here, well, two physical buttons on here are the home button, and that's smoky in case you're wondering what my wallpaper is, and the sleep wake button, not counting the silent thing and the volume controls. Those are kind of side things to me. So the way they incorporated copy and paste, well, cut, copy, and paste, I should say, I think they did it really well, and I have not used it myself, but I will use it when it's released this summer, and I really can't wait. This is going to be a feature that is long overdue, but I can tell Apple finally took their time with it and made it really, really usable, which is awesome. This next feature is Epic. Epic for iPhone users anyway. Now, if you're like me and you own an iPhone and you're always talking to your friends or whatever at college, school, wherever you are, they're always like, oh, hey, David, I'll send you this picture. But then I always have to say, oh, sorry, I can't get pictures because I'm on an iPhone. Yes, the iPhone can do practically anything you want it to besides make toast or whatever. That's an old saying. I don't know why people still say that, make toast. People love their toast, don't they? I like toast. Anyway, point aside, I can finally, well, not me, because I have a little con I had to talk about. Basically, before I ramble on and on, MMS support is finally here. Finally, you can send and receive pictures and I believe audio within text messaging itself. So finally, long overdue. However, there is one quick stab to the heart, and that is there is no support for MMS for original iPhone users, and that's me. Can you say disappointment? Apparently, during the Q&A session, somebody asked why is this not possible. They said it uses a different kind of radio antenna. I don't really know how phones work that well. I mean, I know the basics, but I don't know about antennas and all that interesting stuff. But why is it that my first cell phone from years ago, well, maybe like, I don't know when I got my first phone, but it was long enough ago, could send and receive pictures, but my iPhone can't? I find it a little fishy. I don't know if I want to totally believe that antenna thing, but either way, my 2-year contract expires this July, and since I'll be working this summer, and I'll be done school, I'm going to be getting a job, and I'm going to be, having all this money made, hopefully with this economy we're in. Long story short, I'm hoping to buy myself a new iPhone. The iPhone, not 3G, hopefully the new iPhone that's released around June or July. And yes, I do predict a new iPhone this summer. So either way, it's not really that huge of a deal. I would like it to be part of the original iPhone, but it's not that big of a deal, like I said, since I'll be buying a new iPhone, hopefully, soon. Well, I really rambled in that last clip, and I apologize for that. So this next one should be fairly quick, and that is... Yes, I like props. Landscape View. Finally, Apple has Landscape View support across all their key apps. This means mail, SMS texting, finally, because my friends are always wondering why you can't text in widescreen, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't work for Apple. Email Steve Jobs. I don't know. Although I have to say, finally it's here. I can finally text people landscape-wise, which is awesome with the wider keyboard. It's always been there for Safari since June 29th, I believe the first iPhone came out. It's only going to take them 2 years to get it here, but it's finally there. The only thing that's not in landscape, I believe, is the home screen, which isn't a huge deal because you don't need it in landscape view, but it's very nice that it's finally there in texting and mail. Okay, so this is another big one, and that is Spotlight. On the home screen, if you flick left, however, I have a question for you guys. They kept saying flick left. If you flick left, you go to your other home screen of apps. So maybe they meant you if you flick right. and then the spotlight window comes up. Anyway, I'll see this summer when it's finally released. Anyway, that rambling aside, Spotlight allows you to search across all key applications. This means I can search for iPod songs from my home screen. I can search contacts through my mail. Basically anything I have on my iPhone, and that alone, sorry for hitting my desk, is awesome. Finally, to wrap this up, I'm going to go through a few features that weren't really talked about that much, but these features really stood out to me, and that is YouTube account support. You can finally log into your YouTube account, which is awesome. You know me, I love YouTube. I practically live on this site. And I can finally log into my account, subscribe to people from my account, view my subs, view my videos, and all that stuff. So it's no longer just a YouTube viewer. It's more like a YouTube manager kind of thing, which is awesome. Next up is Notes Sync. We can finally sync our notes that we type in here. Up until this summer, your notes are stuck on here. You cannot sync them in Mail. And yes, Apple Mail in Leopard has a new notes feature. Why we haven't had the feature to sync it since this past summer, I don't know. But this summer coming up, we can finally sync notes, and that's a big deal to me. Especially to my dad too, because he uses Notes a lot for his job. And he's been asking me why don't we have support for it. I'm like, I don't know, but we finally do. So sweet. Shake the Shuffle. You can shuffle your music, I believe, kind of like the new iPod Shuffle. You just shake your iPhone and it plays a new song. Not that huge, but it's good. Wi-Fi auto login. I thought we already had this, but apparently it's a new feature. Anyway, it basically allows you to log into your favorite Wi-Fi hotspots. For instance, here at home and there at college, it'll automatically log me in. Although by the time this software comes out, I'll be graduated college, so yeah. Parental controls, I listed here. Not a big deal to me, but if I had children, I would probably use parental controls just to keep them safe from certain websites or whatever. Anti-phishing, which is cool. That's always a good thing to keep us safer from bad sites. Stereo Bluetooth. This isn't a big deal to me because I don't use stereo Bluetooth headphones, but I do realize that this is a feature that has been requested for a while now, and it's finally there, which is cool. And finally, language support. We have more support for languages. I'm not Japanese, clearly, but more support for languages is always a good thing. I really need some Mountain Dew right now. This video is longer than I ever wanted it to be, but that's because I'm an Apple freak and I love this stuff. And you can't deny, today was a huge day for iPhone users. Huge. I saw a tweet by Richie on Twitter, and he said they might as well call this iPhone 3.1 because they're already jumping ahead of their own game, it seems like. And they have announced so many new features, and I didn't even cover all the features in this video. So make sure to check out macrumors.com, or I'll put a link in the video description of this video to the right of me. Anyway, I'm looking at two monitors right now in the camcorder. You get the point. Look in the video description. I will link you to a very good article listing every single feature talked about in today's keynote. And that's basically, real quick, in case you didn't hear me mention it before like a couple times, iPhone 3.0 software is available today for beta developers. Well, it's available as a beta for the developers. So if you're an iPhone SDK developer, download it, play with it, enjoy it, because I'm insanely jealous of you right now. But for you regular consumers/customers like myself, we have to wait till this summer. So we do have a few months to wait, but at least we can look forward to it, because this update is going to be practically epic, and that's not exaggeration. Also, real quick note in my notes here, the App Store is going to be available in 77 countries now. So they're getting it available to more and more people, which is always awesome. And yeah, now I'm talking too much. For more content like this, or whatever I'm doing in my life, or articles I find interesting online, basically anything I like, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/thecreativeone. Be sure to check out my website, thecreativeone.tv. Apply to be a writer at the social blog. We are always looking for more writers to create content, blog posts, videos, all that good stuff. That's it. Thanks for watching. By the way, real quick, I just want to mention one thing that they covered during the keynote, which made me laugh, and a lot of other people laugh in the audience, is when they were talking about copying and pasting, they used a flight number as an example, and they highlighted a flight called Oceanic Flight 815. How sweet is that?